and this one turned into a fight, pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I gotta admit, it took me by surprise, and that doesn't happen often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. We've both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time.
I guess it just goes to show you anything can happen. Instead of pandering to the fans, you should really keep your head in the match.
Come on, you're looking at a superstar who can feed off the crowd and use that energy to win the match.
You know what I miss most about The Rock? The way he used to make you look like an idiot when you tried to interview him.
Yes, interviewing The Rock was always interesting. I'll just leave it at that. I don't think there's ever been a more dominant superstar in WWE than the legendary dead man, The Undertaker.
Yeah, but you can only stay on top of the mountain for so long, and the dead man's been there for a long, long time.
That might be true, but I don't see anyone on the horizon who could dethrone the...
He's 3 seconds away from victory.
The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd is coming alive. This is what they came to see.
Hey, try to restrain yourself a little bit, okay? You're supposed to be calling this down the middle.
Night after night, the WWE superstars never fail to amaze the fans.
And that's a good thing. I don't even like to think about where we'd be if they didn't.
Well, we wouldn't be sitting here calling this match. He's got this crowd solidly behind him, and now he's going to give them exactly what they want to see.
You can't just keep playing to the crowd. That's a huge distraction, in my opinion. This has been a great match so far, but I think it's pretty obvious which way it's going.
Oh, really? Are you willing to go out on a limb and actually make a guess then?
There's no guesswork involved. But if you're going to be snippy, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
He's got him covered!
In all my years in this business, I've never seen a superstar with the raw charisma of The Rock.
And that charisma not only took him to the very top of the sports entertainment world, it also allowed him to take Hollywood by storm.
And make no mistake about it, The Rock has not forgotten his millions and millions of WWE fans.
He certainly hasn't. And from the sound of things, they haven't forgotten him either.
The Undertaker's got... His opponent might not have enough left to kick out. Even if you wind up winning a match like this, you're going to be feeling it for the next week.
Yes, but that's the case if you lose as well. And having to deal with emotional as well as physical pain, he could do it. He could escape the cage right here. You've got to get out of the cage to win, and that just might happen here. Here's your winner, The Undertaker.
Well, as you just saw, Undertaker won. That was simulated. I had nothing to do with that. Yeah, so Undertaker wins the World Heavyweight Championship in the Steel Cage match. Alright, well, we'll see what The Rock can do by Judgment Day, see if he can win it back. Stay tuned. But next, I want to get into what my ratings. Alright, we'll start with Raw's. Raw averaged in a 4.0. They didn't have match 1. Match 2 was a handicap 1-on-3. Bret Hart versus Umaga, Ashley, and Finlay. And Bret Hart won. That got 2.5 stars. Next was a Steel Cage Fatal 4-Way Pin and Give Up match. between CM Punk, Carlito, Chris Masters, and Mark Henry, and that averaged in at 2.5, with Mark Henry winning the match. Next was a handicap one-on trio, which was Stone Cold versus Edge, JTG, and Sandman, and those three won. That sucks because I'm a big Austin fan. The main event was a WWE Championship hardcore single match between Terry Funk losing to Randy Orton, and that averaged in at 3.5 stars. So over and all, for Raw, it was a pretty good night, pretty decent. They could do more. Next, we go to ECW, and that rounded out as 3.5 stars. They didn't have a match 1. Match 2 was a ladder single between Bobby Lashley and Kenny Dykstra, where Bobby Lashley won, and it averaged in at 2.5 stars. Next was a handicap 1-on-3, Sabu versus King Booker, Marcus Corvon, and Chavo Guerrero. King Booker, Marcus Corvon, and Chavo Guerrero won, and that averaged in at 2.5 stars. Next was another handicap 1-on-3 match between John Cena losing to MVP, Shawn Michaels, and Gregory Helms, and that averaged in at 2.5. And the main event was an elimination tag match between Triple H and Mick Foley beating Johnny Nitro and Batista, and that averaged in 3 stars. Then we go to Friday Night Smackdown, which averaged in at 3 stars. First match was Elijah Burke versus Jeff Hardy, that averaged in at 3 stars. Next was a tag team normal match between Shad and Rey Mysterio losing to Rick Reed, that averaged in at 3 stars. This one between the Great Khali and Mr. Kennedy, the singles match averaged out to 2.5. Next was the United States Championship match between Matt Hardy and Kane, which averaged in at 3 stars. And the World Heavyweight Championship Steel Cage match between The Rock and Undertaker made 4 stars. So, we didn't get the best this week, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. That was a pretty good start. Alright, next I want to head over to, well, hang on. Go to end this Sunday, because that's when everything's loaded up. Go to WWE.com. Match of the week goes to Smackdown, and it got 4 stars. The Undertaker prevailed. Stay tuned for what may happen in the aftermath. Like I said, we don't know what Rock will do, but yeah, it should be good. Next, we're going to the Power 25. Number 1 is the Intercontinental Champion Bret Hart. 2nd is World Tag Team Champion Stone Cold Steve Austin. 3rd is ECW Champion John Cena. 4th was The Rock, because he lost his title. And 10th was, Ric Flair's, and 5th, I don't know why. I didn't even use him. Next was DX with 6th. 7th was Rey Mysterio. 8th was Rated RKO, because Randy Orton's WWE Champion. 9th is Mick Foley, and The Undertaker's in 10th with the World Heavyweight Championship. 11th is Roddy Piper. He went down. Terry Funk is 12th. Elijah Burke's 13th. Bobby Lashley is 14th. He went up a rank. Rick Rude went up a rank. He's in 15th. CM Punk, World Tag Team Champion, went down to 16th. King Booker went up to 17th. Batista went down to 18th. JTG went up to 19th. The Hardys went up to 20th. Shad went down to 21. Marcus Corvon is 22. Sandman is 23. Mr. Kennedy is 24. And last is Carlito, with rounding out number 25. So, over and all, that was a pretty good night. Stay tuned next week to see what will happen, guys. Peace.